Okay, lot, so today's video will be all about LC WULING batteries. So we'll have a system for this, and I'll be showcasing how to produce these items through my factory. Now, as you can see, this is a setup for the double batteries. So there are actually two plants producing it at full efficiency. So if you want to produce at full efficiency, this blueprint will be perfect. If you just want to produce one battery and use Cyanite for like the rest of the Cyanite for another build, you can simply reroute the Cyanite wherever you want and produce those, right? But yeah, I'll explain how to build all of this, and let's get into it. Thank you for coming to the interview. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Farmita and I bought a gacha pack at full price.
So tell us, how did your life change after this event?
Well, it all started when I went to my kitchen and I realized that I pretty much had to eat bread for the remaining of the week. In fact, the other day I went to the store and they wouldn't even let me in. They thought I was there for a job interview.
Looking back on it, is there anything you would have done differently?
Well, I suppose one big thing I would change to would be to
Purchase all gacha packs from TopUpLive, today's sponsor of the video. So TopUpLive offers amazing deals for plenty of gacha games at your disposal. You can buy various Endfield items for much cheaper prices than the in-game store to save you hundreds of dollars easily. And if Endfield is not your choice, there are plenty of titles for you to find. The platform is safe and reliable, and in case you run into any issues, they offer 24/7 customer support. On top of that, if you use the code FARMITA, make sure that it is all in lowercase at checkout, you will also save an additional 12% off. Make sure to click the link in the description and try it out for yourself. First of all, the blueprint itself, there will be two separate blueprints, the right side and the left side. So I will leave those in the comments for the EU NA servers. For Asia server, hopefully someone is able to recreate and post this later. Also, I saw someone mention that I should showcase like the blueprint like this. Unfortunately, I don't think you can do any higher than that. So yeah, I mean, this is a bit awkward, but essentially here's how it looks. I guess you can pause it at certain moments. But yeah, this is one of the parts, and then this is the other. So yeah, we got another unloader, as you can see. Then we go to the cyanide production right here. We have a little bit of free space, but again, this build is like, I don't know, 45 by 45, something like that. And for the resource, it uses 360 Originium per minute, which means you do have to have relatively high exploration level in order to ensure that you have enough Originium. You are able to produce enough at, I believe, exploration level 5 or 6 for the region. So once you place all of the mines, you'll be fine there. And you'll also need a sand leaf and a Jinkawa or a Yazen plant. And for power requirements, this requires 1065 power to run. However, if you look at it, I do have a thermal bank place here. I'm not sure why it's stacked here. It shouldn't stack, at least with the current setup, but this might be from like online time. If I just take it out and we later look at it, you will see that it only has either none or just one battery. But yes, it is able to power itself up. If you don't want to power this up, all you can do is, for example, just delete this road, and then all of the items will go to your storage, right? But if you do want to power it up, you select on this little splitter and reroute it until you meet the rest of the build, right? That way it will split evenly, right? As you can see, I made a sort of a double splitter setup. The reason for that is this produces 4 batteries every 40 seconds, right? There's the first splitter, which half of the items will go next to the belt, and the next half will go to this converger, right? This means that essentially half of the items will be traveling through this bitch and half of the items will continue down this. So we only have 2 batteries going here every 480 seconds. And then we have another splitter, which one of them goes here and one of them goes here, which means that another one of them is going to the storage, and there will be 1 battery every 40 seconds going to the thermal bank. As you can see, as soon as one expires, the next one gets added. So it only adds as much is needed for the system to work, right? Now for this build itself, in terms of size, it is 44 wide and 49 high, so you will be able to easily fit this as soon as you unlock the first expansion, which I believe the first expansion is super cheap. And you'll also need some of these storages to get the items out, because the HQ unfortunately does not support that many items leaving. So yeah, you will need the main hub, and you'll need 5 of these belts, which I believe also unlocks at like the first level, right? And almost forgot, I will showcase how to place this blueprint in the end, because I do want to showcase it as it works just before I delete it all. But yeah, as you can see, we have 6 Originium outputs here and 6 here. Essentially, this is the same setup, just on the other side. Pretty much I try to make everything mirrored. It's a bit of a spaghetti setup, but I find that it worked pretty well, I guess. So yeah, all of the Originium being fed into the shredders, and all of the Originium is then fed into 3 grinding units, so 1, 2, and 3. And of course, each grinding unit needs some sand leaves, so there will be another sand leaf producing shredder right here, so going to 1, 2, and 3. And we have the same thing on this side, shredders into 3 grinders right here, and a shredder moving the sand leaf powder into these. There is no sand leaf byproduct in this farm, so it will never clog up for any reason other than not having enough storage in your battery space, which you shouldn't have. But yeah, after that, as you can see, the grinded cubes are being fed into the final battery plant. So all 3 from this side are going into this one, and all 3 from this side are going into this one. Now the other material we need is Cyanite, and if you have seen my Cyanite blueprint, is actually a very similar setup. It's just essentially I try to stack 2 of them, but I sort of reworked the way they look. So this is like the main setup. As you can see, the planters and seeders are the same. The shredder, the finer units are the same. The only thing I did is pretty much mirror the location of them. So instead of having both planters here and here, this time one is there and the second is there. This way, these are being fed into different sides, because it is able to fit more Forge of the Skies in a smaller area. So that's the reason I did it. But for the general setup, you will need to add plants manually, because this farm also requires both the seeds being inputted, and you'll also need to connect the water. I already did all of the splitters correctly, so all you need to do is just connect this and this, but I'll showcase that in just a second. But yeah, the process itself is, as you can see, we have a very, very big seed duplicator here. It's essentially like 10 buildings, so a lot of seeds are being duplicated. One plant is being fed into this shredder. Then we have one plant being fed from here into this shredder, so essentially 2 seeders at the end. And there will be seeders in the middle being fed to each other in order to support the growth of the plant. And then to feed the actual grinding units, as you can see, we have 1 seed going into this planter, a bit of an awkward position, but yeah, once it goes to plants, goes into the shredder. And for the other, so the other one was here. I believe the last one that's going into the shredder for Cyanite is this one. And yeah, as you can see, shredders are going there. For the Jinkow, essentially you can place either a seed or a plant, and that plant will duplicate, go into the refiner. 2 cubes are going from here into the shredders. By the way, if you haven't seen, I believe this is a hidden recipe which only unlocks if you actually start producing. So yes, you can use both a Jinkow as well as the other flower from this region. I believe it's called Yazen. Yeah, so both of them have the same recipe, so it doesn't matter which one you add, it will work the same. And yeah, those powders are getting fed into the grinder unit together with the shredded sand leaf to produce carbon. I believe it's stabilized carbon, and then to carbon being fed together with water to produce cyanite both from here and from here, right? And that cyanite is then moved into the battery plant. So one is going here and other one is going in a very long way around through here into this grinder. I tried to make a more efficient way, but unfortunately I just couldn't fit it. So yeah, that's the way it's going for now. But yeah, in the end, as you can see, we have two battery setups. The left one is going straight into the protocol stash, and the right one is being split by a double splitter, so that three go into the protocol stash and one goes into the powering aspect of it, right? As you can see, it is running, but it never has any stock because it's calculated exactly enough to support this build, right? Yeah, let me see what I didn't mention. I believe that's actually it. Oh yeah, how to place it, right? So first of all, let me quickly delete the whole thing. Okay, and here's a little showcase on how to get this factory started. So there will be two blueprints. However, for these blueprints, you must place the right side first. The reason for that is before any of the depot bus stations can be placed, because you can see they have a few of them in each blueprint. You must have this depot bus board placed. Otherwise, if you start placing from the left side, unfortunately that will not work. But I made this on purpose because on the right side you'll usually want to place it next to the wall, as the water is available from there, right? Let's cut it for now, just so I can showcase how to connect everything. And once you place the right side, you can place the left side, and the easiest way to align is to align it on the top part. So essentially this belt and this pipe, right? So these will be the easiest to align. And as you can see, the whole factory is placed. Now, in order to get this started, because it only feeds the ores, you will need to do a little bit of manual input. So the first thing you need to do is, because this machine consumes a lot of power, you will want to place a little bit of power to help it get started. Before you can produce both batteries at full efficiency, it was just a rough estimate, but it was somewhere around maybe 6 minutes or so. So what I do is usually I place like, I don't know, like a good 10 to 15 batteries, right, just to be safe before you place all of the plants. And by the time those expire, you will be able to feed additional ones automatically. So the first things we'll do is we need to place some either Jinkao or Yazin, either plants or seeds. I usually use Jinkao, so you can take either the seeds or the plants. If you're placing the seed, you want to place it in the building with the water, right? As you can see, the water will flow as soon as we connect it, which we can do now, I guess, since water is like the main thing we need. So the water, you'll want to have two different pumps, and you want to connect each pump to the very corner here. So one there and one there, right? But yeah, easily you can find the plants where you need to place the Jinkao by just following the water pipe. So one goes in either of those buildings and the second one goes in here. So if you're placing a plant, you want to place the plant in the seed picking unit, or if you're placing the seed, then in the planting unit. So we're done with Jinkao. Now we need to place some sand leaves. So first, you will want to place one either sand leaf or a sand plant in one of these three, right? Whoa, editor farmer there. So a small mistake. You are not allowed to place the seed into this planter unit because it will not feed back into that. So you do want to place either the seed or the plant into at least one of these two. And as long as you place in one of these two, it will spread out throughout the whole system and everything will work. But yeah, make sure to place it in one of these two, not the one at the top, and not these two or any other planter or seeder to the right side. Back to the video, because these are being fed into different systems. So for example, we can take a few sand leaves, we can take either the seeds or the plants, and let's place it in the planting unit, right? Once you place it here, it will spread all across the system. So essentially this goes along the right side, then from here it splits one into here and one into the feeding machine. That's the reason why you don't want to place here, because it will supply the right side, but it will not supply the left side and your machine can get stuck. So you want to place it in one of these three. And then you want to place another one in one of these two. Do not place it in the top one because that goes to the shredder as well. So we can select the seed picking unit, I guess, and place a plant in there. Once you have all of these placed, you'll see that all of these seeds will automatically start traveling based on the building. So these all got fed. This one is getting fed, ready for the shredder. Then the plants will also travel to this side, and as you can see, it will go to here as well. Now, there is a third seed that you need to place. Oh, no, sorry. You do not need to place the third seed. I didn't see the belt here. So yeah, only one of these three buildings, and then in one of these two, and it will supply the rest of the system. As you can see, the last planter that's going into the shredder will be this one, but it is supplied by the whole chain from the left side, right? And once we have all of these going, as you can see, we have our first Cyanite production going. The second one will start up soon because it just received the sandleaf powder, and the Cyanite will travel a long way. That's the reason why you need a little bit of energy, because it has a very long way to travel. So while this battery will start producing much faster, the other one will be a bit slower and you'll only be able to supply half of the power, right? But yeah, as you can see, I placed like 14 batteries. We've used up pretty much 5 or 6, I guess, if we include this one. So yeah, a solid like 6 or I don't know 7 minutes. Do not mark that meme. And your plant will be producing fully. Again, a reminder: if you don't want to produce energy with it and you just fully want to sell it, and you have another way to produce energy, you can simply cut any part of this bridge and all of the items will go into the protocol stash. But if you don't have any other power source, then you do want to have this connected, just so one of the batteries can go into the thermal bank every 40 seconds. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this build. As you can see, one of the batteries is getting produced. The second one is waiting for Cyanite, but that Cyanite is already coming through. And a good minute later, this will produce the batteries as well. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.